Ghanaians and those who are afflicted and the poor. I think they are now working to rule, and we've heard of a few deaths so far already as a result of absence of medical personnel. And we want to plead with them to reconsider their position, but also to urge government to be more serious in the negotiations that they are undertaking. I think the conduct of the government has been shown. I mean, the leakages from the presidency about proposals that the doctors have sent to them, I think that was very unprofessional, and it's something that we can all not be happy about. And if you want public workers to have confidence in the negotiation machinery, then you don't treat their negotiating positions with scorn. You negotiate and make compromises. But where now they are being exposed to public ridicule and attacks, especially from government communicators and propagandists, I think this is a serious enough issue. We are talking about the health of the country. And this is a sector that is a major plank for our national development. And I think that the president should show more seriousness in the handling of this matter. And so far, I don't think that his response has been commensurate with the gravity of the situation that we face.
Badwam on Adom TV, Multi TV. So, text message line there 1760 February 19 and King Kainina and from Ghana Television Awards and Marin Fee. So, because no text, they are my best morning show, best hostess. Now they are called Ama enough yet me. The text line about Tuja, Adiama, but no Hossam and the Honum. Rabu Biamwa at Nasi, South Asian Salaji Baturi, and Subabat nice. Honorable Kwaba, no more book there.
Yeah, no, Josuna, Echia, Oma Moshe, and paying
constituency Boko.
No matter Boko, na so when you say, Kiapem, dear, Adiato, any, or Sadio Yadamka, film Tia, Kiapem, dear. You say, any Ghana for you, any Braba, you are a home, and him say, I mean, a demand. Yamiafa or by a bobra and but
I see. Okay, yes, that's all party chairman Super Peru.
And also Nifi, former member of Council of State. Irafoko, and the veteran politician. Now, by Muslim tradition, almost to a card down by a year. It's just a year to do it. You never could.
Okay, so Obobiamwa now what is saying in the case? I heard him say Alaji Battery Babeka, but part in the position always about the voters register has been that yes, I'm year. MDC in building capacity our Ashanti region, 3-day capacity building. No, more ADSC say absolutely no need. Say we consider issues about voter register and say yes, I didn't such a yes and no as against 2016. No, is it going to be healthy?
You may say, last week you can register in Wassam. Everyone say, I to say NDC or more attitude in say they will campaign against new register. So, you want to register, no? And now you toss to me, and your music and idea, Ghana for you, Sika. Nti omo campaign o ma sha ase so mo mpem anya register for no we be ho a won ti ase fortunately I'm in charge the new chairperson of EC and ra me kan say omo bi sa no asem okuma ase am o ka say commission no etie hwehwem ne ekoso no do hwa there are 3 positions. Say, you register now you audit and I am they are considering all the positions and options. Now, my share who cancel, you can't be faster. And I think it's a very mature response given the situation. Because initially, I started now, the Brima Kasama is, I quite say, Ethiopia, from but say, no response, no. Assuring. So, when you chance in we can find a way forward. But when you say, given the evidence and circumstances. Me for fraud, boy,
but party position, the yenyai, your audit, yenya for
party position is a chocoma is, you can say, considering all issues and factors, yenya for fraud.
But I can't be near that journey, who says, already used to say, Sika home to Tiana, I quite tria my ass of mine, and I go for Sika, so say, Sanko.
Okay, initial budget easy for the bar. Enka registration, any new register, but someone do 18 by register on the Kaka home, and Yankee police stations. Almost 2 billion. Until you send a car by the any election, election 2016, a car was only at that general. Yenya election na omomote so ntra so because of the kabeba. Democracy is expensive.
But who so options no?
Expensive. Yeah, we have two Cote d'Ivoire. I mean, why did they need peacekeeping force? You see Liberia. Besi ne omo nye ebio. Nyina mammo semia yanti ehho ase enkoyi. Na me mpegu se ebeba to Ghana. Was ebetima trans adwendwen. Let one be a pepe near Huasia. I don't see why I say baby baby about because we see a
situation where I buy also that go ahead in any collaboration. I must say, yeah, mad from and I see Pose.
Mentis are buying Casa, party for Necasa.
It's a reflection of definitely remember we say that will be the position of government, especially say Omako build the capacity. I can't share my idea. Clearly, they will fight against the issues about yes and control the.
I don't think. That is why, in the first place, I'm surprised. Where to say. So of course, will be a challenge. One party is here for one party is here for floor. Be the evidence and the issues and reasons in chair. Official say for
but
at appropriate time, MPP would organize a major forum. Bring out all these issues. Try to convince the whole world why we think going forward. No.
Lessons after Supreme Court, not a seeking to suggest that I will be here, say, a better side for
you say, what kind of judgment and judge Bia can say, I share register. Yet register, but be a better too. I feel so, Emrano, and Shena, time I was said register my parties, and found my own parties into me. They are charting the way forward in a peaceful way. So I say payment because I'm not so. Say own transfer football. We are own shape. Are you saying that is the way to go? I feel say, as I said, at the appropriate time, when we bring out all the evidence, I think we'll be able to convince majority of Ghanaians, including the EC, say that's the way forward.
Alaja Kwaba, never call.
Boko.
If you come
no call. Metise no kase Supreme Court ruling no say here register. I doubt whether it is true.
Oh, but I don't check Ghana for
Mecho, mama oh
check Ghana for
what did it do?
Says Supreme Court directing electoral commissioner. It's impossible.
Almost every judge out.
It's not possible. I'm telling you. We're a lawyer. It is not possible for any Supreme Court judge to direct the electoral commissioner in
one direction.
Was he? Was he almost every judge? I say, register.
No, because are you
directing the electoral commissioner? Abraham Constitution said nobody, not even the president of Ghana, can direct the electoral commission in the performance of his duty. Until we are lawyer, please don't mislead Ghanaians. Don't mislead Ghanaians. Further, we mean Ghana for now. Madam for Minuga for Afoko, Papa, Mr. Afoko, or Kababy, say, Monday, no one meet here. Until my Afoko family, Yako. Menti say MP before. Aka sa some way. I'm on Muyako. Emi yapa.
Oh my encounter.
So Obi make MPP.
I like the fire be by
statement upon statement.
Exactly.
What to be?
We're national chairman, Papa.
National chairman, Papa. Oh, also a member of the Council of Elders of the MPP.
Former Council of State member.
Former Council of State member. In
veteran
fact,
politician.
Before. Veteran politician. Or a veteran politician, Mr. Afoko. Or your MPP died in the war. The young one was in the Afoko. So as we MPP.
I'm MPP. That is American one.
Me say officially me
party a party
yes party say party MPP I issue statement effort I
statement
no
but the notice has come out.
So
the notice has come out.
So have you issued a statement?
The man has been buried there.
Have you issued a statement as a party?
Statement except chairman
Papa.
Okay. No, me issue. But it's a very serious issue. So I won't issue statement to this effect.
I've not heard it. And none of me kind of GNA report.
And the back my team
there be me see party MPP I issue statement.
The back general secretary said statement
3 days on.
But already issue. I don't know how I mean
what's it there?
And
I make me what kind of
one
see our more headlines. Obi am saying because I was
Sarah go get so till baby.
I mean one thing one kind.
Yeah, making guy also on about
one kind. I want my John online to cook.
That's some more kind they say. Hey, say a bit more I carry NDC. See, we 47%. I mean, June 2. So, 47%. Now, midterm, I'm on 47%. Any opposition, more to normal year. Because if this is how the trend is going to go, they stand opportunity to be ahead of the opposition. On to me, can I join?
Twisted. What twisted?
I mean, NDC be winning power. Is that why he said? So NDC be winning power.
What twisted?
He said, "Come on, me and
what twisted?"
I was with him the whole day yesterday. And upon organizing seminar oil and gas going to the Bitcoin up to about midday. And we also there was this discussion on petroleum price essentially. He said that can say, and apart from saying meteo no, ni large battery can. If you know you are on the maybe what do I know see no. Oh lawyer, mangasa.
Oh my. Oh Obi, the way more. Why a fine gentleman. A fine gentleman. Politics I say no. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. You are Nipananka. Okay. Okay.
Dia na beba na kasa NDC be win power.
On say wo koyi be bia on wo pe na wo kan.
Me koyi de be bia pe.
I mean ante say. O say. Say MDC under your mama would mean 47% midterm year. There's the opposition parties no and the omo be chiro.
Okay.
Tie
if clause if clause be
Anka MPP.
If clause ni besides say if clause ni asemo kan ni say if clause ni dey against asemo kan nyina
now what you say the clause unless
if no way
one who unless
if
one
no
who
unless
kind headline one who unless
there
one who unless
conditional clause you sure
conditional clause what see MPP say man jai watimi wa kamino and no cry dey bobo
and no know so just any very
was it bobo and no see
okay
oh my logic sometimes you use logic
and no be me see me and come rate NDC 20%. Other how report to me.
One moment kasa.
My account had go and report me. Obi am say NDC deserves 20%. Go and report it.
Ghana for na. Oh my ba kwa okasi so. And I think that you should use logic. Aban biaba into government. The first year I said, oh yeah, to settle down. Appointments. And if in 2.5 years, I might be to me 47 now. Man, if you say projects and programs in the
47.
gestation period.
Ntiano to bus road ya.
Says here 200 community senior secondary school by and Mambaka 47% more.
The woman who 90%. Mama 90%.
And after free SHS now, ever say September. And Mama can home. Common sense in logic, but you say, Papa, your mama need NDT at me 47.
I want a mom 47. No?
MPP think tank. Pro MPP think tank.
That's very unfair.
I say pro MPP think tank. I mean, say pro MPP think tank. Yes. It's my opinion. What's your opinion? Say I miss my opinion. I've not insulted it. It's my opinion.
No, once it's a think tank.
My opinion is
giving a political coloring to the
organization. That is my opinion.
Pro MPP, me MPP.
Oh no, MPP. See, why pro MPP? Not a pro opposition.
More than 20%.
Score government 47 midterm. Now say abang project say Kwame Nkrumah interchange here.
Your second.
Ye who be our Ghana ever so.
To your mom.
Takradi Habo ever so. New port here ever so.
Okay.
Sa dum so here ever be. Where do they start? And then when you look at the infighting, the flag bearer is fighting October. Whether it's October or September. Yes, April. Don't worry. If you have one thing. So open power. They be American ha. Akufado on the name flag bearer. Nasa ono any mu chairman. Where party head. Any mu general secretary. Where chief administrator. Nasa omuntem engwa. Why na ever be run campaign?
I still that's all.
Edena chum. Edena chum. No one ti omu treasurer. One ti omu treasurer.
Flag bearer.
One ti omu treasure.
Treasure say dey.
Oh, it's pathetic.
That's no foot too.
Abra, you see, when you are digging, that's stop digging. They rather continue to dig. Treasure, this year, he's even flexing his muscles to compete with General Secretary. And you come to radio, even to the extent that a treasurer will come to radio, party for mucho be a party card, that's a national party like
your
MPP.
Party constitution of the New Patriotic Party. Yeah. The responsibilities of a treasurer is spelled out clearly.
Yeah. And the responsibility of the general secretary.
And because anybody outdoor MPP go and read the constitution of the MPP.
They don't even read it.
So that you say treasurer now so we ban here. I'm surprised that Obaka treasurer mama na treasurer was spelled out responsibility.
And I mistake. Who crime is one kind MPP constitution? General secretary. General secretary. MPP constitution.
And that is part of the
chief executive.
Okay. Labor unrest.
How can treasurer compete with the only officer
recognized by the on the surface, the treasurer, if per what you are saying, let us call a spade a spade. Per what you are saying, the treasurer has no locus to fight over responsibilities. A general secretary there.
That's what he was doing.
He has no locus.
That's what
every MPP member should know.
He is doing that because he believes that he has the support of the flag bearer.
Oh no, it cannot be true.
Period.
It cannot be true.
The flag bearer that he's even inciting people to beat up company. General secretary, any party, I contracted someone here.
If you
can you believe this? I heard him on yesterday in the morning.
If you ask anybody to beat up anybody, it goes beyond MPP constitution.
That's how it comes up to the law.
That's the law.
Party officers who say Obinu.
Anyway, thanks for the
former chairman lose your party in the party crown. Unya hope we need.
The Employment and Labour Relations Minister Harry Edrusi has sought to discredit claims by the opposition New Patriotic Party that government's insensitivity and mismanagement caused the wave of strikes in the health sector. According to the minister, the MPP is ignorant of issues at the labour front, hence their misguided attributions. And I quote him, I do not intend to dignify that very misleading and unguided attribution of the storm in the labor environment. In my honest view, it is not attributable to the particular factor that the position is relating to, but we will weather the storm. And no one's Anaga.
Oh, that's it. Labor issues are very critical. Industrial peace, I didn't hear pa na sebi o man bia mo labor front who you announce the bia na strike na threats of strike and workout sit down e kaka hu ya no o man mo hu ntomo da because mo workforce productivity is very very critical. Na akwese uhwe ni ekoso sese a it appears to say labor front no more ya aginsem no more ya aginsem a ya de o se aban no so na ohwe ye ka ho asem ne ha kakra ne se aban na ya ma na it say sebe utia na se we force bi ban so a and or react sa na ya ye. And why do I say that? You chrome her, even on the sporting front. You will chrome her. A bar said, yeah, World Cup. Yeah, and too many players are negotiating. I'm Obiang Anthony Wasi. Emma, Kwamu could do a Bruchilon Kobo World Cup. Vice President Koho, Emma Minister Noka said, there are standing issues be on a Vice President no Becca. I'm a trying World Cup, a final match in Portugal to send us to the next round. Yes, yes, and see, come out more. To the sense, say, yes, 4 million could play. Say, the command players and some of my bomb match. If we have a team who commission. No, be a himself, and can buy any players it trans negotiate here. Casanti saying, I ya can't want to it appears to say that is a language they understand. And see junior doctors. Almost busumi tobacco into Omoka. Omaka Wasama, Daku no see. No pay Mobia and Quajuma, Obia Shenatare or the Quajuma, on funny stethoscope Nibia, in a shell controller. Na Sema who biano Yaka. Na say, Omantia Yaka in free. Within
2-3 hours.
2-3 hours, Minister drew her, no way drew her. By close of day, no, Omania, Omo promise a bit yamka. A CBT within 2 days. Adia
9 months.
Minister of Finance, initially, or CBT within 2 months. A chair reduced by within 2 weeks. Omo 2, Omona core controller, or no, a 7 within 2 days. No, Bisinga, Omocha Okranka 2 hours. And now, almost started process to pay them. As we speak, I can count over 10 institutions. Either some cost strike and some are threatening to go on strike. Even NADMO, because I'm going to security services. I'm paying for me better radio. So, in few minutes, in 3,000, you call himself 1,500 pay. Yeah, the 2 payroll, no, sir. 1,500 maybe NADMO. Film you know, yeah, Busumba, film you in Moka. Almost a bit to mean cost strike, or time we do so. Come as them. Yet, you come on a prison service, Kumasi prison officers, TC about to say, from conditions of service. Ufa, state attorney, sir. And yet, Attorney General's office in Guao, Lands Commission, Registrar General, everything under the Ministry of Attorney General, Ministry of Justice and Attorney General's Department. And Ryan also more compulsory arbitration. Table for air 13. So I'm here. Over health services there, Bobo, nurses, pharmacists, GMA, psychiatric officers. we can count them. Now, if we have this kind of atmosphere, it's obvious that something has gone wrong. Now, yeah, so in whom to answer in there, me sure say a bit to me, I can answer. As we speak now, what we even need to find out is say single spine at the single spine. Yeah, Juma now. The single spine here, Juma. Why are we in this kind of mess? For instance, the man asking single spine and my cry now, it move be now, yeah, by Juma. Me, income tax, general revenue service, yeah, Juma for almost 10 years. Not Professor most cry one time, no, me, commissioner. There was this policy, say, yeah, consolidated allowances. Now, it was for a reason. Because Obia to be dream was me pay who allowance. Me pay who allowance. They distorted the whole salary structure. There should be consolidation of allowances. Now, a fast basis, no, and who choir, a best fast workers, as we speak, there are some institutions that are more 25 allowances. There are some institutions. And until a bloom so share so they demand the allowances, maybe. Who be so fair wages or mechanical say that is not the way to go, and that is not what we have advised. Until then you ask, say, what is the policy now and what is the way forward? There be a better hammer and conform a notice, warning, 11 months, 12 months, 1 year. The bloom higher form business, 11 months in 2 months. And yet, doctors in ground. Local government service. I found go for 10 months, 11 months in 2 months. Psychiatric nurses here on see me. Almost say, your father now I feel salary my buy, but soon as I pay the baby. Niaka and Yanka Home.
What are Bamu paying? What has been the challenge?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One, you need the legal framework, no, you have to follow it. Say, state attorneys vote to me since November. Any ama notice say no man kuyi. No biya miaye. Obiya kwa mbuye nchole tamre. Say, masa mkan kwa no. Yati na mama mi entrance
November to.
November. And then you be say ne encourage maybe you. That's the language you understand. Kaso mun encourage you obiya sorry say yes mama mi entrance. Into one, the government itself making sure, say, they abide by the rules and regulations of the game. Doctors almost started 13 and what does it take to have conditions of service? What does it take? Munfa draft mra. When they draft bar, obviously, mumu position ni, yes, position. Let's come to the table. Then you tell the whole world, they say, this is where we agree. These are the differences. We're working towards it. They are reasonable people. But where all the others say, will say, or the position about the proposals about, now, outrageous. Now to radio so. Now we do my term. Now see, MPP4, na yes, sir. They say MPP4, say, or don't power. Because science is a mabon na some people for instigate them there. Some people for your opposition they are so powerful. But the reality is that the average person sees say you are not handling things well. Because you say, oh yeah, no more and institution after institution say table for air come. Yeah, and son of a baby school August, September ya. University students don't have it nephew. Now say the whole academic calendar. Now for bomb hoka. Now feel quality who all because we don't seem to have a roadmap in dealing with these situations.
But like the president said, it's getting to that time of the year, into most
and yet that time of the year. Say in rather honey the mrane year Juma. Some of these we can avoid. There are even situations when who's a bino, I atum say ne by amamo. Now, if you mundi so. No per se, or more day. I can give you as a person. It goes even through the security services. It's a common document, and yes, be a Mugana who call Assembly Press publishing. Now, so got regulations are police service regulations or conditions of service be our movie. Legal service regulations or conditions of service be our movie. Other institutions. A public document at home. Now, if you agree to a set of allowances, any conditions, not undi so. There be a police there because security services no. Be a but won't the date senior doctors see. But you want a prison for it seem. BNI, they are also part of the police service. Almost what is the situation? Ain't ya transit who says single span in to me ya. Ye quite a before ye be modify no. Not sa no man no. I bet was. Now the way I quit dear.
And your papa,
and ya dear boy. Now, ye can't say Muna Muabamu. Muna was some money echo. Obi a say mo dey politics and say mo kara mo dey start here so mo kan san mo mo ka obo dey obi na na mo kra but at the end of the day no if we are even doing politics we are telling the people of Ghana say we are better managers na here bless no say institutions be tia kra and go do that stage way
Alaji Batwe yentio
my name is CP. Sometimes now I find myself between the
Nana Fredia Ajimai Ofuriata. Alaji Baturi is at his propaganda best. He clearly needed to make up something he hadn't heard in order to insist on a particular point. Honorable Amwes' point about the judges' thoughts have been heard by all. We wish Alaji well at his tourist visits to the overpass. Nana Fredia Ajimai.
I'm looking good. Missing me does Nana. Say also why buying what power. Now you were looking good. They cold stone no come say that's here and I say why and
you are buying also.
Because also cold stone. Of course, Obianim say Mr. Portugal Abaywe. Obianim. I'm not a member. Me kuta card. But I support that I speak for the government. Obianim. I do everything. So what is was propaganda best. Nana Michel. Omahi. Uni. Sometimes I cannot fault the MPP. I think that the MEC should blame itself for some of the things that ECOSU. We're party coup. It's not just about winning elections. It's not just about provision of water, roads, and so on. Politics. Politics, every government you have to take interest. NDC, because I don't know. And I'm saying, a revolutionary background. They should do it. Since Rawlings' time, they don't take interest in local unions, students, politics. They don't take interest. Then PPI, how they misalatu omu. Even it's a ball of work when omu leadership, MPP take interest in it. And I think I salute them. I salute them. So that is why I'm all complain say then the MPP should have a lot of people. Because most of the leadership of these unions and leadership, I'm telling you, they are pro-MPP. Now, Oman who said the party is not attractive. Their candidate, presidential candidate is not attractive. And the party is not working. And Gabi Asroja Nana Fredua, no fancy. Okay. What is their parliamentarians here? They are not selling. And this leadership of these various unions, they are pro-MPP. We saw it, including media personnel who are hiding.
Oh, no flow.
Media said,
who are hiding? Who are hiding? Who are hiding? Mr. Me hiding Obiani. Any platform in ya, me come and yes. So-called civil society who have been hiding.
So can imagine I said,
and primaries by. That's until recent name for example, where MPP.
So professional.
He acted as a professional.
Professional, I mean, he's hiding.
And I've once a
former boss just
intelligence. Intelligence. Free a car. No, I don't know about you. No, now, 3 weeks. How they said, watching. Maybe I'll patch the time. Almost an text. That's why do you allow him? Why do you allow Obiamo, or a gentleman, first class, for excellence? They said they always say,
okay,
if you don't take interest in student and local union politics, don't
which you believe the MPP does?
They do it with precision, and I think that is good. And the NDC, you are in opposition, you have come to power. What have you done? How can virtually almost all union leadership they admire or they are pro MPP? Why? And they are not learning. So that is why Oman said their party is not strong. And to be honest, Oman, forget about the American. So we are political analysts, and so we are so to form. The MPP is not in the game in 2016 because a house divided can never stand. Where you cry, say a Bible, a quotation.
Yeah,
you cannot build a solid house on sand. Until he's coming again.
To say we have exams, I could see a bed. Not quite enough forest now. See the bird lives on the tree. So what is a tree? A tree is in the forest. Who are starting? Neighbors are here. Where you are MPP division? MPP division a bus as a way. Say MPP 2016 they cannot stand MPP. Yes, see, yeah, that course what? But we are say
so when you are in the pressure
division,
what's it as an divorce own twins it's not fair. Mile Foundation, and I'm allowed to do that. Who started because we made the foundation.
Now MPP division and that's okay. Yes, it can.
MPP are weak because of the division.
But he's saying that NDC for a very weak in terms of some interest.
Leading Agrat, no, or catch also MPP. Obi one constant near NDC. Uji Sadi Wedi. Obi yet after be a human with Diana. Was your MPP in India Comodino? Where MPP in India Comodino? I know MPP in India for Undianica.
You see, now he can't stand the heat. Okay. He can't stand the heat. Metihana Ukanya Mambimano. So why won't you deviate? Why won't you see that one host be?
Nah, my boy host.
One host.
My boy host. Who deviate?
Hey, was more tactics. What was the Ekasa because me know you reboom oh mommy leeway. Meanwhile, you take the almost all the time.
I don't think so. Because you knows that.
I was even general. Was it because me your boss?
Yes, you boom. And there's no doubt about that. But I'm a foul. You boom.
To weaken you.
We pay also hiding.
Yeah, me chance.
Also hiding.
Yeah, me chance.
The
government, the NDC government needs to take interest
in those things,
in those institutions, who leads institutions, students and so on. Are very key because it's as part of our political agenda. I will not fault MPP if they try to sponsor or even support people because it's part of the politics that are here. But you see, the sad thing is, when I meet these people, I clinch. Obiamo was the former deputy minister of youth and sports. Before then, he was the personal aide to the then sitting vice president. Where Jumache. Under their tenure, Bisan said, did they sack some striking workers and our man Pamomo? Why did you sack striking workers? Under your tenure, you who strike say?
I didn't see that.
You who strike say?
Reason for Uncle strike.
And I may say, Mukra mu Pamomo. It wasn't teachers or health workers.
Pamo be a.
You see now?
Pamo be a.
I'm telling you, under President Kufuor, they sack striking workers.
Yeah.
And I mean, you do workers.
Pamo be a.
And I'll be grateful if somebody can text to you
Yeah,
to remind good workers. Omu pam omu yomudi. So omu reapply under your regime.
Me say Jami institution ben.
Government biya niwa. Obetumi a rule amount for 25 million people. Aonya difficulties. I say eja or fear. No matter how resourceful you are as a parent, you have challenges dealing with your family. And then just say you are reckless or you are irresponsible. So don't come and sit here. You've been in government before. That is why the minister can be say consolidated fund, a common fund arrears. When you were living, when you know how many months arrears the Mujay?
But
and this is a strike back.
They will not be holding anybody responsible.
I'm not. That is why I'm saying
the frequency of it.
That there's no frequency.
The frequency of it.
I say we saw
A, B, C, D.
But if you are a student of politics in this country, you will know that every approaching election year, this country is always on the heat in terms of labor front. If you are a student of politics in Ghana, you should know this. Because what they do is they use it as a bargaining chip.
To get what they want.
I don't know if this government will continue or not, so let me try and get what I want. He was talking about it doesn't take time to make bargaining, what condition of service. What's the way you did Baba? Now we should be Yaba. Now there be a difference though, no mama be a. The question is 8 years of MPP, no? Did the doctors know that they didn't have?
They started it.
I'm saying that 8 years. What did the MPP government do to give them conditions of service?
19 years, no more then.
So you see, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So now they follow.
There we go.
19 years, no more then.
Okay, wrong is a high mistake. And MPP may so.
And I'm also how many
you
years
are supporting the doctors.
That's why how many years already?
Say 8 years now,
mobile.
Oh, the okay in our country here. Combine Japan, the okay in 120. That's why Haruna is responding to them. So I don't know about condition of service. So it's no more about condition of service.
No, but doctors in the insecurity argument, they are talking about their conditions.
My have a country several times. So the leadership, especially do say Pokuni Jackson, their MPP died in the world. I told you.
Who?
I'm telling you. Tio Mukasa.
Oh, Nakasa now did
Mrs. Tio Mukasa.
But what has it got to do with party?
My friend, you see, let me tell you something. And today, let me sound this caution. Ghana belongs to everybody. It's not about doctors. And the doctors should also recognize, they have families across the country. So if you are in Kolebu and you go on strike, you think that my family or me, I will die, or you attend to me. Your family in Gini or Twi or whatever, when he or she is also sick, he may also die.
That they are addressing conditions, Ghana belongs to Ubia.
My brother, I've been telling you, first of all, don't forget that what I say, demand more mine. If every Ghanaian is going to demand his pound of flesh as per the 1992 Constitution, where would this country be?
Within the laws.
Within the laws. I'm telling you, within the laws. Go and read Directive Principle of State Policies and look at what it says. Go and read the Fundamental Human Rights and see what the Constitution gives you as a right. You, the citizen. It is not possible. What you do is you negotiate, you talk, you judge. You don't what do you call it? Experiment. And as a gamble with people's lives. These strikes they are doing against the government. Tell me which minister, and a president, and a vice president, and a chief executive, and a DCE, and a 1 year doctor. Which one? Which one?
So now what kind of doctors are we for?
Yes. What I'm saying, the Amichen said, they may have a legitimate cause, but the approach is totally wrong. First of all, the Constitution makes it clear. And the laws of Ghana say essential services, you don't have the right to go on strike.
But you also don't have the right to also downplay what they are doing. Who share conditions of service? Who share you have classified them as essential.
Can you imagine if the police service
them as essential?
So why that classification? Can you imagine if the police services also want to demand their pound of flesh? And the police, the police for 30 years, what do sergeant? Yeah, money, cook some, for example,
thank you to me.
And yet, I cook more friends. Baby,
a PM and assassin,
baby, from
kitchen,
and your kitchen, this bed,
Nkukobu.
Go and see the police barracks. All to them now free you are bounty. Sergeant of over 35 years, dedicated service. Oh, Dr. Udan, now no Gado, putting his life at stake. Yeah, we have some of four. So almost say omun cox is able near.
That
is why
what Alaji, let us also establish the basic. Yempo no you will be a bit my president. Yempo you will be a bit my Alaji Baturi. So class society in the will be the fresh.
I'm not talking about class society. I'm saying that if every class, even the baller man, decide to also seek his pound of flesh.
Yes, I say man reference no. Baller man say man they needed attention.
Near me, parents or man, no matter what, life shouldn't be used as a gamble.
Okay.
That is a bottom line
on the part
maker.
of the doctors.
Because negotiations there, no matter what, if he has all will come for better. And no government can accede to their request. It will collapse this nation within 24 hours. No government. Because the budget cannot support it. And they know it. So that even if you are going to negotiation with your employer, you should know how much your employer makes. The surpluses or the deficits. Before. You just don't get out and say multimedia. Because you're from mine, I'm so much important. I'm on 4 years activity. You have to pay me or give me this and that. You don't do that. You have to look at the expenses multimedia incurred, the revenue that comes in as against expenditure. Every country, every civilized society, that's what you do. You don't select. When I know 89 doctors, new doctors are here to just 89. Go ahead. One day, none of they are paying them. Go and see how much. And this can push inflation up. This can.
After we are to push inflation up. Indeed, on the common inflation. There be also okay.
Money, oh yeah, me.
Common na so work as about 40 minutes. I said I'm
Malaja no see.
Common name was inflation be cut down.
Malaja no see.
What?
Alaji will fear. Said those things you are managing the no be aka sorry.
We pay for the juma 11 months unto aneka. O si kwa tia am kan. E ma inflation cost.
Alaji ye na for.
Inti dey
Malaji from.
Yeah, same way. Libre ho o kan o muntu bi kan local government service
yema alaja
no go for 10 months local government 10 months into o kan
papa say minister of state before a former minister who knows this more than me.
Be careful you don't personalize it.
I'm not personalizing
because yes
because what you are doing is unfair. What you are doing is unfair.
No, he talks about who are occupying that position.
What you are doing is unfair. You are a former minister of state.
President Mahama.
You know it. Abambia since independence. Unim say Abambia since it takes time to get that person's name in the you know it. 2 hours. You know it. You know it. You know it.
You are messing up this.
You know it.
And you
know it.
Why for mommy? And so what?
Yes, because you should know it.
When
you employ anybody in government, who employ government,
why minister,
service,
why vice president, why president, I don't need to
regularize
or address it.
You know it.
What is there to defend? Is it defensible? What is that? I can't give you the list here. What? Normal institutions who've gone on strike because of your inefficiency. Look,
but thankfully the NDC government didn't sack any of them yet. I'm saying your government sacked workers.
Give me one example. Give me one.
Your government sacked workers.
If you cannot give that example, they are not being sincere to yourself.
You see?
Give me one example.
So if you are a former minister, I think that you should even appreciate What government is going
Go and tell
through?
John Mahama to appreciate it.
Yeah, you see,
On now, vice president,
he is not attacking.
Go and tell John
It's
Mahama.
not personal attack on the president.
No, what are you saying? Some of the only former minister.
President Akabibu.
Some of the only former minister.
President Akabibu.
No, in situation here, once you make a referral, that once a deputy, I ask the question, and then you repeat that he's been a former minister and he should know. And he's saying that the probably so good here. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has gone through the chain.
Omahi, and what has that got to do with what I'm saying?
Now, what does that got to do with what
I'm saying that every government worker knows that whether you are a nurse, whether you are a teacher, even civil service, you're for a Juma, you go through a process to have your name input.
Me teacher in 11 months, 8 months, 9 months. How do we stop that? Because
every month for 2 years now. One network so.
Not
over 3,000 of them.
I'm not glorifying it. I'm telling you the challenges that governments go through. Now I'm saying Kaya, ghost names. You see a minute. Why is it so? Now I'm saying you see ghost names. We have decided as a people, as a government, to take measures to eliminate or reduce that ghost name. So the processes are laborious. But of course, I agree that it's taking time.
Okay.
But you should also know the reason behind it. And yes, sir, people will be inserting all manner of names just to go and claim the money, like we saw in the National Service, at the National Service Secretariat. Look at the amount of money that this nation every year. So that's why I'm saying, Mr. Amo, I'm not being personalizing it. I'm saying that Onu Awaya minister before, he should even appreciate this more than me Abaye Juma. That's the point I'm making.
Okay, and that depends on how far, but Okojina Aguna Sodra, Abrantis say. Omar, please tell Alaji to calm down because people are dying in Aguna Swedro Government Hospital. We should all plead with the government to do negotiations with the doctors to come back and call for a Alaji. Okay, so depend on enforcement car say and they obi nyawa na free they on the Adom co capsules in the mixture aba and no kutia team and afe koko and afe no echine so no the Adom co ointment wo the fa baby a oni pedua no eye oya na ebo Adom ladies mixture so oba ko fitri no obi ete won ebo wo kwansoro nko so Adom eye PA capsules so usisi oya afe wapon so sasabro so ha oye pa Adom WNG capsules so no ekutia gonorrhea syphilis and yadea ekaka hunya Adom typhomix so typhoid etu ase prekope edema we no dependable home in Rupa on the aba edwa so bi no for dodo na nkasa de wo frɛ 0272 220 222 bio 0272 2220 222 and 0242 505555 0242 505555 Kumasi KNG Herbal na be home Danny Herbal ana Air Colinac Herbal last town Techiman so Eric Herbal ben Techiman Post Office no Sarasuna Koforidua Gapson Pharmacy Delight Pharmacy Amicus Pharmacy Nagisa Pharmacy Takrade Nimdia Pharmacy ana Takrade so be Mensa Takwa Was Ebibidu Fie ana Fe Braka to Herbal one other Roma one Lucky Herbal Clinic for ana so as which are dependable herbal home on the Adom Co capsules in the mixture Adom Co ointment, Adom ladies mixture, Adom WNG capsules, and Adom typhomix. For number CBM 0272 220 222 and 0242 505555. Now, one needs also. Well, that is our agenda 2020, our agenda 2015, but for now, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I mean, who said former President Kufuor, former President Rawlings. Onedi ka shia di nkomo adidi omo nkomo ansa na mu nyina ba bedwam abeto on komodi ni so the president everyone speech. It is all about the 40-year development plan that they believe is going to transform or will transform Ghana according to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The 40-year development plan, which has just been launched by the National Development Planning Commission, will significantly transform Ghana President John Dramani Mahama has said the plan, spanning a period of 40 years, is the first ever long-term development agenda Ghana has ever had. It will bind governments to a vision lasting till the country turns 100 years as an independent nation. Honorable Obi Amwa.
National
Development
Planning Commission. A creature of the Constitution. We share Constitution, free Article 84 column. Constitution actually says, say, science institution. President of power, Nipa Odano, Ministers of State Kahon, Government Association Kahon, Governor of Bank of Ghana Kahon. Other persons are President Fisomo Nimdia, bet me don't have a Kahon. Mean a year so be advise the president, be two president before. No more you also be analysis of economic situation or the development plans beba. Into constitution ama ho kwansa. Constitution we ekura no. Esa ye hum ma kwame ye humra. Into Development Planning Commission Act 1994. F4 near constitution aka no say omonye no so. Indeed, beyond the act nkwana constitutional expectation and act ni mo can say inya regulations Badwam sa ni mo can very effective. Unfortunately, the Kasebe senior regulations in Tumi 394. The survey. Hopefully, no. Senior NDPC for Kakamono. And I'm assuming baby, I'm more quiet, do no. Yeah, Mompire say, a few bequery and answer at the beginning of next year. Now, regulations now become home. I must say, be a set because your constitution or your act or act to look senior regulations and more. That is the structure of the NDPC. It's no more so many soon. The papa or my be any honor or honor only planner. Which one can say, Ubako him. Now, no better no can be Nabia. A bamba, a bayako, we should be biasi, we buy on me twaso. Now, we should be any dear, maybe a near, a one crown, near me, even the constitution party and Carfia beauty say, even structures and Kakahua, a constitution expected say, Ubano be a start baby and Kawabe twas and Uncle we. Inti almost target Ghana at 100. Say, a bedusano, now in 40 years' time, now to me, planner almost a bit take off by 2017. Actually, 2018. No. But quite 100 years in 40 years' time. Nanka. Aben biaba, wabedi swa ma yehu say. Yeni ma ye kuni. A very good idea. They are even suggesting, say, in their consultation, no, they will invite two members from each party to join them in their consultations around the country. Will be answer who say, I join Mojuno, say, be your party back when I be parties in a green boom. Yeah, the only challenger you was saying is, what share NDPC? In the first place, no, President, when I oba opa onipano. Woman also move for. It's more or less now correct to say.
It's skewed.
Una team.
It's a national feed.
And yet national una team. And this have been Council of State because I can say retired this, retired that, and you are crying regional representatives based on elections, you know, ma. The commissioner Kasa, say per se agree say any independent body, any certain powers are. Bet me ama abambia ba obeye obliged so be this one or say if it even means to say you be amend the constitution no na ide ashemu say plan we when you agiatum see agi plan we atum dia abambia ba o hwesa plan so don fa it will help.
Okay.
But as it is now, no dear, we may say, sir, you know, Thompson. Probably a bizarre senti idea I was saying is it binding? On to me, concrete answer because who baby I say, so baby should I say, a planning. Everyone say, a bang was see. See a vision in Vision 2020. A plan I mean who say, a baby about to make this one yet. World Bank IMF plan. And no sano. Sikada home. Ubabano, Ababetu, say, I bring a tremble normally. IMF World Bank, Shamoni. Now, would this answer so I see car on the Bavani.
Right.
But say, a planner, it makasi, twice one and alcohol. It's because in ya provisions about binding, Obi Aba, no abandon there. Januna also a dream who said, no, maybe what they are saying in age to say, senior person.
Okay, Alaji.
First of all, Mami Mbo President Kufuor Abasu. Even though I disagree with him when he was president of this country on many occasions, but since one handing over, I think the Ghanaians must salute President Kufuor for always trying to preach unity, not only to preach, but live or trying to let the country live in peace and unity. And then my home says since Oko retirement, he hasn't seen his as an opponent. He has lifted himself, even though he supports the MPP, he's a senior figure, he wants them to come to power. But Bibia effort of mine won't be President Kufuor always. And I tell you, any function or call, you see that politics not above form. Especially under this NDs, whether it is the Mills or Mahama regime, we will see that the tone on Yanka partisan. Another Casano I call so now say it was about Ghana. And I think thanks to the presence of Kufuor, because the mere fact that President Kufuor or Honukra, any MPP man watching or woman watching or seeing or there would also feel belonging, being part. And I think that I salute President Kufuor, and I will call on Mama and subsequent leaders to do what Kufuor is doing. Because Sobekaya under President Kufuor, Abayano, President Rollins, Anyesa. And he says, President Kufuor, he is paving the way for others to be compelled to do that. And I tell you that it goes a long way to bring unity and peace
40-year plan. Is it feasible?
Country. As for the plan, whether it's feasible or not, my worry, and there be a mini opportunity, I'll say it. I'll say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Successive governments, especially under this Fourth Republic, there may be, I'll say, Omuye, Omunya. And what is going to happen is that they are living a dangerous future for the youth, for the next generation. So whether plan, whether Vision 2020, whether growth, whether it is, for instance, 40-year development plan, let us do first things first.
Okay.
The indiscipline in this country is frightening.
The indiscipline.
The indiscipline. And it cut across, including government. Including government. He was just saying that there was law, who passed law, and I said, do we do it as a people, as a government, as a country? Saying to me here with basic things here, why would you go and then be talking about some huge architecture beer will not come to anything? Constitutional and the laws of Ghana has already taken care of most of these things. Well, fine, it is a constitutional demand. Okay. But I tell you, the Constitution under Article 35, Directive Principle of State Policy, has already given us a plan. What we need to do are two things. Let us make the laws to work. And let us let every Ghanaian, regardless of which government is in power, every Ghanaian feel to be part of the nation. These two things, NSN Umai, MPP bar, who are won't support you, MPP, you are not part of the Ghanaian. NDC, what power? Who are won't support NDC? You don't feel belonging to Ghana. And this is what is making people to disobey law, to not support government, to the extent that our even national team, Black Star, you have people. I'm telling you, you have people
wishing that they will
lose.
I see.
You understand me?
I know.
That is how far we go. So whether it is Vision 2020, whether it is Agenda 40 years here, whether it is whatever it is, say yeah, basic things. The basic for me is key. Government must make sure that it brings back civil life to the people of this country. Civil life, a law and order. Yeah, because say in this way. Now, say in this way, look at the population of Ghana today. Can you imagine the next 10, 15 years, 20 years? Population explosion will make nonsense of that, whatever plans that we are putting.
Dependable home Father Roma, and lucky about Father Roma. And I didn't come about dependable force maker. Say Adom co capsules in the mixture. We are met team cocoa how no chin so a mama dunya to a separate copper at the mouth. Adom co ointment, cocoa so a how to a same mouth. Adom PRA capsules. We see your now say upon waposo Tasabro dunya. And only be Adom Typhomix and Adom WNG capsules. Dependable herbal home for Caswa only Datus International School in the training. Do one and the dependable herbal home Medina. New Road, Greenhouse, or I want to be home. Next, our phone number is 0272 220 222 and 0242 505555. Okotakwada, Nimdia Herbal, AMS Herbal, Owasa Bibidrufi, Barakatu Herbal, and I say Erike Herbal, and also Techiman, Ben Post Office, no, Kolinak, and KNG Herbal, and Danny Herbal, and so Kumasi. Koforia, Gabson Pharmacy, Delight Pharmacy, Amicus Pharmacy, and Anagisa Pharmacy. Lucky about to say, ya dear be a done a crank or down, so Fakodon, no more constant, because Fred Dr. Yeboa 0243 201244 and 027746 5855. Alhaji Midasi. Thank
you.
So much Brena, what you need in call. I